What's going on, everyone? Jonah here for Apologetics discussion board number 3, and today we're going to be answering the prompt that states, the reading from chapter 8 spoke of a holistic apologetic that appeals to people as thinkers, believers, and worshipers. What does this kind of holistic apologetic look like, and what makes it appealing? So, a holistic apologetic that appeals to people as thinkers, believers, and worshipers. Now, this is important because so many times, as the authors note, modern apologists or apologists in general can focus so much on the aspect of a person that is a thinker, the intellectual side of apologetics. Many people believe that if you're an unbeliever and I'm a believer and I'm trying to convince you of Christianity, make an appeal, make a defense, then I need to mostly appeal to the intellectual side, the arguments for Christianity, the arguments for the existence of God, the scientific methods, the philosophical reasons for the existence of God. And it's very heavy on the thinking part of apologetics. And this is different than what Chatraw and Allen, our authors, propose as a holistic apologetic, because they claim that if you just focus on the thinking side, the intellectual side of apologetics, you'll miss out on you'll miss out on the heart of apologetics, and you won't fully be able to persuade people towards Christianity. They say on page 173, when frameworks for Christian apologetics overemphasize the role of the mind, they reduce Christian faith primarily to a set of ideas, principles, claims, and propositions that are known and believed, all with the goal of correct thinking. The problem with this approach is that it makes humans out to be merely thinking things that are containers for ideas. And we know that this is not the case. We're not just thinking beings. We don't just have minds. And really in the book, they note how the concept of the human being, we can compartmentalize the human being into the mind, the head, the heart, the passions, the desires, or the will, the soul, the emotions. And we compartmentalize the human being into these different compartments and say, oh, I'm going to address the head, I'm going to address the heart, I'm going to address the soul. And in reality, as the authors note, the biblical usage of these words, the heart, the soul, and the mind, they overlap in such a way that they cannot be completely separated. And this is important because it shows that we can't just address the head and expect to get an entire persuasion to Christianity. There's going to be cases where we're talking to someone and we're giving them intellectual arguments for Christianity, and they're still not going to believe. They're still not going to have the desire to believe. They're not going to, it's not going to be convincing to them. Maybe intellectually they can see it, but they don't comprehend it in the rest of their being, because we're just addressing one part of the person's being, and we're completely discarding the rest of them. Their desires, their desire to worship, their desire to believe something. And this ushers in the importance of having a holistic apologetic approach where you're addressing each one of these different aspects of the person, where you're addressing the intellectual side, the thinker side of the person, and you are providing them with intellectual arguments for Christianity, but you're also addressing the side of them that is a believing being, and the worshiping being. The believing being, someone who, I believe this is where Alistair McGrath talks about giving powerful, imaginative, moral, and aesthetic appeals for Christianity, where people want to believe in something with their passions and their morals, or even people are worshiping beings. Blaise Pascal is famously quoted as saying, "There is a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man which cannot be filled by any created thing, but only by God the Creator." And this focuses on the fact that we're all created to worship, and God, Yahweh, the Christian, the Judeo-Christian God, is the only thing that can fill the hole in everyone's heart. And presenting this information, presenting these stories, these cases, where we show that God is the only thing that can fulfill every creature's desire to worship something, where he can be he alone can satisfy our desire to believe in something, and it's backed up by intellectual evidence. And so I believe that's what a holistic apologetic looks like, and what makes it appealing, because you address all parts of the individual person. Thank you. Have a good one.